Welcome everybody to the show. We have a loaded evening. We have Kenny Pickett. He's floundering over there in Pittsburgh. We have Malik Willis. He's going into his first start with the Titans. Patriots. They have two young quarterbacks. They can't seem to figure out which ones they're gonna play. Rumor is Mac, but we'll get into it. Brady's going in Splitsville. We have some washed up quarterbacks, and then we're going to go over who we think our top five teams so far this season are and who our the biggest disappointments are. So um, sit back, relax, pop a cold one, and if at any point, if you could please like, share, and subscribe, we would appreciate it. Let's get right into it. It wasn't so bad.
See, that wasn't so hard.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
So, where do we
We
want to
still gotta
start with
fucking do
this?
the transitions better.
What?
Still gotta do the transitions better.
Hey, it's okay. It's all. We're live. We're
We're
live as
live.
live can be.
Live, pal.
Yeah. But where shall we start this show? Let's start in Pittsburgh.
Let's start in Pittsburgh. It is not looking good for Kenny Pickett so far.
So, the preseason savior. And remember, I don't think Trubisky was even playing that bad when
No.
he got benched.
Well,
But they decided to go to the future.
he was playing bad. But unfortunately, for Pickett, he just happens to be playing worse.
Yeah. So Pickett, the fans of Pittsburgh have turned on Kenny Pickett already in
Boy,
his
howdy.
first year, and we're like 3 games in of the first year.
Yeah, and just for context, he's his last game he was 32 of 44 for 257 yards, one touchdown, and three interceptions. And that was like his third game. I think he has like one touchdown.
Well, my question is, what were they expecting?
With
Like,
from Kenny Pickett. I
it's
don't
his
know. It's
it's his third game. And now I know 3 interceptions in a game isn't great, but you're still in your third game. You like third game of his rookie season. There's going to be growing pains.
true. I don't know. I think that because there's so many quarterbacks that have, well, not so many, but because there have been quarterbacks that have found like immediate success, like the Mahomeses and the Roethlisbergers and uh, Lamar Jackson. He seemed to pick it up pretty quickly. Um, I think that the expectation of sitting somebody and developing them is just out the window. They just want them to get on the field immediately and produce. And when they don't, they just get shit on.
I guess. But I
Uh,
remember one. There's this guy. His name is Josh Allen. Maybe
mm-hmm.
you've heard of him. He was in his first playoff game and threw like 5 interceptions. So
Yeah,
he was able to turn that around. He's doing pretty good now.
but he got to the playoffs. I mean, if you get to the playoffs and have a bad playoff game, that's one thing. But if you're just consistently playing poorly, that's a different thing, rookie or not.
Well, I don't think it's too far out that they don't make the. It's not too far out that they don't make the playoffs this year. Yeah, it's funny. Like they can go on a streak
The
and make the
Steelers?
playoffs. Yeah.
I mean, I guess theoretically, but they won't. Not with their current team. Even Tomlin's like, we gotta put our head down and just expect to suck for a while.
Yeah, and I guess they're entering a rebuild.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't really know what they need to rebuild aside from the quarterback position. They've always been like a good team instead of just a bunch of skill
Well,
players.
I don't think, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I don't think 3 games in you've had enough to decide that Kenny Pickett is not your future.
It's his tiny hands, man.
Yeah, you gotta be above what is it, 10 inches?
Of
He's
course.
not. He's not 10 inches, so that's a problem.
Yep,
And that will be his hand size, of course.
of course. Not his ego.
Yeah. So you gotta have, but hand size has nothing to do with throwing interceptions. That was more for fumbling. I don't know if he's been fumbling.
Let me see if I can find that. It doesn't say. I'm sure. I'm sure there's fumbles somewhere.
Well, I think consensus would be that you gotta let the guy. First of all, he should have sat this whole year. That's the let's get that out of the way. He
Yeah.
should have sat this year, but we're here now. I think you at least got to give him another season before you move on from the Kenny experiences, as Twitter would call it.
Well, I think it depends on who your options are. I mean, if your options are Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett, then yeah, I don't see any reason not to see what you have with Pickett. But if you have an opportunity to get one of the good, quote unquote good college quarterbacks right now, um, or a veteran, I don't know who would even remotely be available, but veteran wise, I'm trying to think. I don't
Um,
know. Let's say Lamar Jackson doesn't sign with the Ravens or something.
well, yeah, if you can get Jackson, then yeah, you go get Jackson. Like, if you can get someone like Bonafide, yeah, you go to them right away. But if you're getting someone middle of the road, then like Drew Lock, sorry to say, like you're not. I don't think you turn the franchise upside down to go get him.
I don't see why you would waste your time unless Trubisky leaves and you need a backup.
Well, you're saying they need to move on from the Kenny experience already.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you are.
When did I
You
say
said
that? When?
it. You said it.
I
No
said he
one
has
else but
tiny
you.
hands. I'm saying
That
if
is
they
also.
I'm saying if they have a better option, yeah, because of he's playing like shit right now, and there's something that's just not translating to the NFL. And yeah, it is his first
Well,
game, and it's only a few games into it, but at the same time, like it's still football. The way he plays isn't any different than how he played in Pittsburgh.
I would say, truth be told, I haven't seen him play myself yet, so I don't have any eye tests. Like, I can look at someone
Mm-hmm.
play and say, okay, I, you know, maybe they have glimpses of stardom, and you say,
Yeah.
okay, well, if he can hone in on that, then he can be a guy. But I haven't seen Kenny Pickett play, so I don't know if he's been. he has glimpses of doing that, or if it's just all a shit show.
I think it's the turnovers more than anything with him. The turnovers and the lack of scoring.
Well, you can cut down on the turnovers.
Potentially, yeah.
I think didn't off the top of my head, I think even Roethlisberger, his first year, he had like more turnovers than touchdowns.
Roethlisberger was also like 12-0 his first year. So I
No, he
mean,
wasn't.
he was undefeated for a few for for quite a stretch.
Was he?
Yeah,
I think we remember this differently.
he took over for injured Tommy Maddox, and then he was undefeated. And I think I don't know if they lost a regular season game or if they lost the playoffs. And then yeah, because they lost the playoff game, and then um, the next year he lost his first regular season game, if I'm remembering correctly, because the Miami of Ohio team that he was on, they went on a long winning streak. So then they're like, he hasn't lost since this date.
Okay.
So yeah, if he had more interceptions, his winning solves everything. You can play like shit but if you're winning, it doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, Kenny Pickett's not playing like shit and winning at the same time.
Okay. Well,
I'm not saying that.
he misled. That being Ben Roethlisberger.
What do you mean?
He said out of his own mouth that he played like shit his first year. Um, it was basically the team that held him up, and
He wasn't like
he's kind of defending Pickett, saying you got to give him time to develop.
he wasn't a superstar, but he was winning. Like I don't know. He came in and he just lit a spark under. He was something special. Admit, yeah, he wasn't like Tom Brady or anything like that, but or Peyton Manning, but he was still producing. He was still scoring. I think that first year was Jerome Bettis' team, so they relied more on the run and stuff.
And you had that defense,
Of course.
so he did take over a team that was pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, he sure did. But Kenny Pickett, I mean, he didn't take over a bad team.
Well, I think we knew they were going through a rebuild.
Well, the only thing I know is that Roethlisberger was playing like shit, and everybody was saying that he was basically the reason why they're not they're not winning without directly saying it. Which I mean, there's some truth to that.
Yeah, you wanted to move on. Everybody wanted Kenny Pickett in there. Oh, what are we doing with Trubisky? Get him out. Oh, now you got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think you go back to Trubisky unless all hell breaks loose and Kenny really goes off the rails. But if you have a chance to upgrade, I don't see why you wouldn't. I don't see why any team wouldn't.
Yeah, you should always be looking for an upgrade. But I'm just saying, and maybe it doesn't happen in Pittsburgh. I'm just saying we still gotta let the guy develop for a little bit before we put him in a bust category. No one said the B word yet, but I see that's where we're heading.
No, I said it. I said it was a bust.
You didn't say it until now. You just said it right now. If you said it,
I also didn't say they should move on from Kenny Pickett.
no, that one you did say. The bus thing, I'm putting it
Rewind
out
it.
there.
Rewind it. Check the tape.
Flag on the play. We're reviewing it.
So Kenny Pickett, he's floundering in Pittsburgh. Well, just a few states to the west, Malik Willis is getting his first start in Tennessee. That is the west, right? Yeah.
Sure. Don't. Sure. I'll just say yes.
Yeah.
I'm bad at that.
Knowing where basic states are.
No, the north, south, east, west thing. Direction. There you go. I didn't even know the name of it. That's how bad at it I am.
There you go.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Malik
Tannehill's
Willis.
injured.
Yes. So we are amongst the start of the Malik Willis show. Um, it's gonna be interesting. I think I think Derrick Henry better sleep well tonight because he's gonna be working.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, I don't think he had to work any less when Tannehill was under center.
It's true. They did rely on him a lot, but I think even now it might be like run two downs, throw it the third down,
Yeah.
and that's the game plan.
And that's only if you're within a certain yardage.
Yeah.
Like if it's third
Now,
and 3, you might want to hand it off.
yeah. Now this could be helped because Malik Willis is, for what is worth, is a good runner. So it might just be like a run it every run it every down. That's gonna be a good question. Over under. You said Pickett threw it 40 times in the game. Over under 20 throws for Willis. What do you think?
Ooh.
Is he gonna throw it more than 20 times?
Um, who are they playing? Give me 1 second. Oh, they're playing Houston.
Under.
Yeah.
Under because they won't need to throw it.
Right. Yeah.
Houston is favored though in that game. Is it interesting enough?
Is that what that
For
means?
what? Yeah.
Huh. I figured the bigger
For what it
number.
is worth, Houston does have a good defense. They do
Yeah.
have that working for them. So Lovie Smith's gonna go into the game. Okay, everybody, focus on stopping Henry. Let let this Willis guy do what he can do. Let's see what he can do.
Just have everybody move up.
Yeah, they're gonna load the box. Probably put 8, maybe 9 in the box. You're gonna have your corners out on an island, man to man coverage.
Tennessee doesn't really have any receivers right now, do they?
No,
So, yeah.
so it will be. It ain't gonna be good, but he's gonna have his show. I think he doesn't throw more than 20 times,
Yeah.
but again, it's because it's Houston. That game's gonna be. If I can give you some betting, if I can give you some betting, I'm gonna say take the under. But that's not. any betting advice. That's just for entertainment purposes only. Meaning, let me teach you some of the gambling game real quick. So, you see that line that says 40 next to
Uh,
the Titans name? That means that they're saying that there's going to be 40 points in this game. I'm saying it's not going to be 40 points in this game.
so that means that at least both teams would have to score 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're saying so that's the bet line. Is each team going to score 20 points or more than 20 points each? So the game total score equal more than 40 points.
It's +2.
And I think we see a 17-10 game, so
I don't know, man.
you'll find that out at the end of the show, by the way.
Some of these games you think are going to be low scoring and they turn out to be high scoring and vice versa.
Yeah, it does always work out that way.
And if it's on Thursday, you can almost bet it's going to be ugly. Except last Thursday.
Yeah, you move the teams up in the week, and then it's just all hell breaks loose for them.
Yeah.
They hate the Thursday night games.
I mean, it seems like they hate all the games.
Well, they don't hate all the games. They hate the Thursday night games
Mm-hmm.
because everything, your practice schedule and everything, it's moved up.
Yeah. The
Because usually
routine's
you're
the
playing
routine's fucked.
Sunday. Yeah, you're playing Sunday, and then you got to turn around and play 4 days later on Thursday. So they don't like that. Sunday night, Monday night, typically they're okay with because those are later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then if you're a team like the Cowboys or the Lions, and then you got the Thanksgiving schedule where you got to play like 3 games in 10 days because you got to play on Thanksgiving. You play Sunday, you play on Thanksgiving, and then you play the following week.
Do you think there'll ever be a Thanksgiving where the Cowboys don't play?
No, they're mainstays. Them and the Lions, they always play.
Mm.
I think as long as Jerry's there, we ain't, we're gonna be on Thanksgiving Day.
It's just interesting to think about.
Yeah, them and the Lions are just the two teams who always play. Those
Right.
are your constants, and then
You got
you
two
know,
others.
yeah,
Well, hopefully Malik Willis does well. Going back to all that.
oh yeah, him. Yeah, he should get a win. Um, we'll see how he looks.
Yeah.
It's on local here, so I should be able to catch some of it. See the highlights.
From what I remember, he got in earlier this year, and he didn't do so hot.
I thought that was in the preseason, no?
Was that a preseason? I don't know. I could have sworn he got in either late in the game or like to give Tannehill.
Oh, yeah, I don't. I remember that, but I don't remember anybody talking about it.
I remember them talking about it, but not anything good.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. I just remember seeing it. The little ticker at the
Yeah.
bottom that's telling you
Yeah.
the scores. I just remember seeing Malik Willis played in the game. That was about it.
Well, there
I
you
don't
go.
have the Sunday ticket, so you know, I just gotta take that little ticker if the game's not on TV. It hurts with the eye test because I like to eye test these guys.
Yeah. You got
Like
you, you got a good eye test.
I think I got a pretty good eye test.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not in the league now. I got such a
I
good
do.
eye test. Look, I tested Tony Romo. Okay, I picked that out a long time ago. Before he even took a snap, or before he even played, he was still third string, and I said, "That's a guy.
Yeah.
That's eye test right there." I tested Josh Allen.
I seem to remember you were pretty high on Quincy Carter too.
Yeah, you know, it didn't pan out, but it wasn't because of his on the field. He made it to the playoffs. You know, if it wasn't for that little trouble he got in, he would have still been on the team with Campo with his little curly Jufro.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, I forgot we can't say that anymore.
Nope. Whoa.
It's a hot topic right now. You can't be
Just,
talking about
just want to say
froze.
the thoughts and opinions don't necessarily reflect the show. We love Jews
And
and their froze.
I just want to say, when I say Jufro, I'm gonna dig
Oh
deeper here.
Jesus.
I gotta get in before I can get out. I want to say Jufro is just a style that I am saying. I'm not saying anything about Jew-ish people. They're great people. I'm just saying there's a hairstyle that is called a Jufro, and
Yeah,
that's
but
what he had.
you can't even say their name.
I thought it was only if you're being negative.
Just in general. It's
They
just
are Jewish people.
it's just like
Like that's what they are.
it's just like any other, quote unquote marginalized group. Like you can't. The only time you can talk about them is how awful they've had it and how awesome they are. But if you say their name or their categories and it's not preceded
Okay.
by something glowing, then you're canceled.
Okay, what is a positive? What's the politically correct term there?
There isn't. You just don't
Enlighten
say.
me.
You want a PC term for Jufro?
Yes.
Um, uh, the, I got nothing, man.
Well, if you know in the chats or the comments, let us know. Because I
Where do
don't
we
know.
go
I
from there?
genuinely don't. I genuinely don't know.
You just don't say it.
And there's another.
What do you mean you don't know? What? There's a simple solution. You just avoid it.
Well, the perfect segue would be to go to another guy who has a similar type of hairstyle.
Oh
That'd be
Jesus.
Pete Carroll. What? I didn't say anything. I just said a
He
similar
doesn't have a
hairstyle.
similar type of hairstyle.
Then what?
He's got that California like comb back shit. Like
It's a
almost
little bit.
almost feathered.
It's a little bit there.
A little
Anyway,
curly.
let's not get caught up in the semantics of. We're caught up on the wrong thing here.
Well, you're saying something's curly when it's definitely not.
Well, anyway, so Pete Carroll took to, I guess I'm gonna say social media, or did he take to somewhere else?
He parts his hair.
And he,
There's not there's not one curl on this motherfucker's head.
so remember when everybody was baptizing him by fire when he decided to pick Geno Smith and
Yeah.
let go of Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like such a bad idea right now.
Yeah, they're on top of the division. They're not yeah, they're division.
That's not saying too much, but
No, but it's more
I
than
guess,
we thought they'd be.
yeah.
I think both of us thought they'd be at the bottom because they lost Wilson. So there you go.
And not only that, I would almost say Geno Smith's looked pretty good.
He hasn't looked bad.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what I can't get past. As if he completely off center. But Geno Smith's face, his eye sockets, I can't get past them.
I always thought he looked like a fish.
I don't know. He's just, well, probably. He's got those, like, I don't know, those deep eye sockets.
Like he looks into your soul.
Yeah, and he's got, like, rings around his eyes.
Let's
I
pull
just
up
can't get
Gino.
past that. So, even if he is a good
That's
quarterback,
the
which,
eyebrow. He almost has a unibrow, but it's like the whole. It's not the hair. It's like his body transformed into a unibrow. So it looks like he has this visor. just,
and that's our professional breakdown of Geno Smith.
yeah.
But yeah, Pete Carroll, he
Uh, he,
definitely,
he was talking to the Monday morning quarterback, Albert something or other. I know you asked that earlier. I'm answering.
I just said, I guess it was social media, but yeah, money quarterback. I thought it was Peter something. Anyway, not important. It's the money quarterback, and yeah,
Albert
he
Breer.
basically he brought up the hey, remember that whole Russell Wilson and Geno Smith thing? Look at him now.
Yeah, you guys shit on me and said that we were losing our minds. And basically, yeah, just glowing reviews of Gino. He seems to be happy where he's at. I mean, he's got to be. You don't go into a season with any expectations other than losing, and then find yourself at the top of your division and overperforming. It's gonna look good come review time.
Yeah, and I remember being on this show talking about how Seattle is definitely in a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you know, and we weren't the only ones saying this. So everybody outside of Seattle saw this as a rebuilding season.
But they were talking about the possibility of Carroll getting fired.
Yeah,
Like before the season even started, like, oh, maybe it's time he should just get fired.
like it's not you're done, man. Like we haven't even started the season yet. Yeah, but come on.
Yeah, we don't have Russell Wilson.
We all know how this is going to play out.
Right. But yeah,
I guess to quote,
good.
let me do it. I guess to quote Chris Berman, that's why they play the game. There you
All right then.
go.
So, good luck to Geno Smith. Glad that he. I like to see quarterbacks go from sucking at a team they get drafted on to kind of rebuilding their career at another team.
Yeah, it's always fun. It's a fun story.
Yeah.
Um, this is gonna come up again when we talk about the season so far. But you know, we are just in like early October. Well, now late October. Whatever.
It's almost
I'm just
November,
saying.
dude.
I'm just saying the season hasn't really gotten started yet. Like December ball is where you really start talking about okay, who's going to make a deep playoff run? and all that. So we got a long way to go. Like,
We do.
don't talk to me in October about, hey, everybody was wrong, I was right. Talk to me in January and tell me that.
Don't tell me when you're on my street. Tell me when you're on my block. Eh?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think you said it right, but
I don't think
exactly.
I did either.
It's don't tell me when you're in my neighborhood. Tell me when you're
On my block.
on my block.
Okay. I knew it was on my block. And he sat back with his stupid polo shirt.
He's like, I said it. I got one. That's gonna live forever.
Yeah. uh, and to his credit, it's been said quite ever since. So I think he said that before. Apparently, he was quite the personality.
Well, and I remember, I think he said that like right before when they were like going into the last game of the season or something, like before the playoffs started. I think I remember that's when he said it.
Who? Wait, what?
Dude,
What season?
like right before the Patriots finished the season undefeated.
I think he said that before that season. I
Well, I'm sure he
remember it
says
was
it a
like,
lot because every time someone gets close,
yeah, they're
they got to
3 and
go
0.
shove
Can
the
they do it?
microphone. Yeah,
Let's get Mercury Morris.
they bring it on themselves though for having this alleged cigar lighting every time there's no undefeated teams left.
Yeah.
So, they've been playing this up. So now when someone gets close, it's like, hey, this team, huh? Let's make you relevant again. Now we're gonna have to start this conversation with the Eagles because they have a shit schedule,
They
so
do.
it lends to them getting being in that conversation.
if they uh, if they play like they've been playing, I don't see them losing a game.
Well, there's this team up in Dallas
Oh,
or down
Dallas,
in Dallas.
Dallas ain't gonna do shit.
Hey, they haven't beat us yet.
Dallas can't even beat who they lose to.
Who, Dallas?
Yeah. Oh, they just lost to Philadelphia. They can't beat Philadelphia.
I said they haven't beat us yet.
Oh, what?
Philadelphia.
Because of Rush.
Yeah, they haven't beat us yet.
You realize
They
that
beat.
that man saved you all season.
He did, and I'm grateful for him.
No, you're not.
But they haven't.
You gotta put respect on that name.
Get him out of this. Get him out. They have not beat the Cowboys yet
All right.
with Dak. Also, they have the Giants coming up twice. So there's that too. And everybody's all on the Giants, so
Yeah.
you got to put some respect on that.
I think
You would think the Giants can at least get them once.
I think the Giants are a good team. I don't think they're that team yet. But I don't know. We'll see.
They aren't that team, but they are a good team. Are they good enough to beat the Eagles once?
Well, anybody's good enough to beat the Eagles once.
That's true.
This is the
And by the
NFL.
way, if we're going to talk about the Cowboys again, the 1-5-1 or 4-1, whatever the Giants' record is, we're the one.
Oh, you're taking that.
Yeah,
You just act
I
like
put
you're
that
part.
on.
Say we like we're part of the team.
Funny enough, I knew eventually you're going to call me out for doing the we thing. I said, it's going to happen, but, I'm going to do it anyway.
Well, I'm glad I can not disappoint you.
You live up to expectations.
Yeah,
I try not to be we. I try to, keep this fair,
yeah.
but I'm not on anybody's payroll. I can be a fan if I want to be a fan.
I yeah. Anytime I say we, it just feels weird. It's like when I try to use slang.
Well, when I say we, when I'm talking about Tom Brady, it's even weirder. You'll find that out later.
Boy.
You'll find that out later.
Um, Speaking of finding out, Patriots are trying to find out who their quarterback is.
They are. There is a quarterback, a full blown, and it's funny that I just mentioned this on our show a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was last week. Why is no one talking about this controversy? Now people are talking about it, and now it's a real controversy.
Yeah, it's legit. I don't know.
Um,
I don't know if it's warranted, but yeah, here you have it. Seems like the between Billy Zapp and Mac Jones.
yeah, so if we could do a quick recap. During Monday Night Football, Mac Jones, he had come back from injury. He started the game. He was pulled by the end of the second quarter to where Bailey's. He's playing bad, by the way. He's throwing interceptions left and right. Um, Belichick pulled. Oh, and I should mention the crowd was completely against Mac Jones in that situation. Like
Yeah.
every incompletion, he was getting booed.
Like he should,
So I think,
like every pass should be a completion. Those are some
well,
expectations.
well, I'm just saying. I think because of all that pressure,
Right,
he's getting booed. Like everything he's doing is getting booed. The crowd didn't want him.
right.
Um,
Poor guy.
so Belichick, and he threw an interception. He threw, um, a, it was a bad interception. Like only the defender was in the frame. Um, and then there was another interception that was just a complete overthrow. The guy made like a pretty damn good one-handed catch that no one's even glazing or glossing over. So we have two interceptions. Belichick pulls him, puts in Bailey Zapp. Zapp comes in, throws a touchdown on his drive that he's in. Everybody's rejoicing. Oh, it's Zappy hour. That's the
See,
phrase that they say.
see, I told you.
What?
No, that's what they were saying. See,
Oh yeah. And then after that first after that first drive, Zappy didn't play too much better. He threw interceptions too.
Fitz started hitting the
Patriots,
fan
yeah, Patriots ended up losing the game, of course.
badly.
And now we're back at okay. Well then, damn, who's the starter?
That's the $1 million question. Now the rumor and innuendo is that Mac Jones is getting the nod tomorrow. Um, but you kind of have to wonder if he's going to be looking over his shoulder now because he was pulled pretty quickly after that one mistake.
Well, Belichick said it didn't have anything to do with the interception, and it didn't have anything to do with injury. So he kind of alluded to I'm just playing both quarterbacks because I'm playing both quarterbacks. It's
Right.
kind of, I guess that's the only other thing you can take from it. So, I don't think he has to look over his shoulder. I think there's just still going to be, each guy is going to get, a chance. Now, the real question is, how are you supposed to, you know, get a good rhythm if you're just like, oh, I'm only going to play a couple series and then the other guy's going to come in, or, like how do you like
It never
build on that?
works. I've never
It
seen it
doesn't.
work.
Like there's that old saying, if you have two, you have none.
Right. Well,
So,
Ohio State did it. Texas did it. Dallas did it way back uh, in the Tom Landry years. It just,
the Broncos did it. Tebow.
oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I guess they
Well,
didn't, but they did it, but they did. It was
right.
definitely two quarterbacks. The fourth quarter Tebow and the rest of the game Tebow.
Right, right. But yeah, that shit just doesn't work. You can't, like, I get the mindset like, oh, I'm just gonna have this quarterback throw deep balls. But to your point, the you gotta have the rhythm and the timing, and I'm sure
Yeah.
quarterbacks throw differently. They deliver balls differently, and as a receiver or a lineman or whatever, just getting used to somebody else directing the show is can't be easy.
You make a great point. There's the cadence thing, like when you're hiking the ball. Um, there's as a receiver, each quarterback has a different spin that they put on the ball. Not not necessarily on purpose. It's just how it happens.
Right.
So they have to adjust to catching from two different people.
Well, and I think
Um,
like Brett Favre used to throw the shit out of the ball. He broke. I don't know if it was Donald Driver, but he broke his receiver's fingers. I remember watching this clip
yeah.
where Holmgren was yelling at him for throwing the ball too hard. You broke your fucking receiver's fingers.
Well, did catch it. That's the important thing.
I think he did, yeah.
Well, damn. It's like I caught it, but that's gonna be the last catch for a while.
Right. I'm not gonna be able to do that for again.
Who do you think, if you had a if you had a choice between the two, who do you think they should point their flag with?
Well, I mean, Mac took him to the playoffs last year. Billy Zapp won what 2 games? I think
Yes,
I
as a
think that
rookie
pretty
though.
much gives you your answer. Mac Jones was a rookie last year, and they went to the playoffs.
That's true. That's true. I think it wouldn't even be a question if Zappy didn't come in and play as well as he did, and while Mac Jones was injured.
Mm-hmm. And that's how it always is. Like
Um,
when a backup quarterback comes in and starts winning, everyone wants to see the backup quarterback in because they think that's the answer.
yeah, team fans don't really take kind to teams losing.
Now, if that backup quarterback doesn't come in and immediately throw a 100-yard touchdown pass, then they boo the shit out of him. Like, oh, we were wrong. Bring Trubisky back.
Yeah, but it is interesting that you know he came in and then immediately drove him right down the field for a touchdown.
Yeah,
I was like, see, we knew
but
what we were talking about.
yeah. Well, I mean, New England for whatever reason they know how to get production from their backups.
They do. I think at best we're gonna have well, they're gonna have good trade bait. Not
Right.
we. I'm not weing the Patriots. They're gonna have good trade bait. I think that's what's gonna happen. Or they're gonna be able to trade one of them for draft picks. Probably Zappy. Um, and then he goes
Probably.
on and becomes like a superhero somewhere else, and then everybody's gonna look back and be, oh, you should stay with him.
So
But
you think he's starting material?
I think he is, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't do what he does for by accident. Um,
Matt Castle did for like 11 games,
yeah, he was a crook. He wasn't a crook. He just did well in the system he was in.
but he still did it for
And then
11
when he,
games.
I'm saying he did well in the system. They didn't make the playoffs that year, by the way.
No, they went 11-5 and they missed the playoffs.
But I think he did well for the system he was in. When you took him out of the system, that's what happened.
Yeah.
He was a
No, oh, no
system
doubt.
guy.
But he still, he still did it.
There was another guy, and I blank on his name. It was in Seattle. Um, there was a backup quarterback, and then he got a big contract with someone else,
Mm,
and then flopped, and then he came back to Seattle and started playing well again because he was back in the system.
I can only think of Hasselback.
God, what was his name? Um, Jones, maybe?
Seneca Wallace.
No, I have to look it up. I'm gonna look it up. You entertain the people while I do so.
Okay. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. How are you enjoying the show so far? Want to see some
Tell
comments?
them to hit the like button
I
and
was
stuff.
just about to get there. God,
Let me do it.
don't. Anyway, anyway, please like, share, subscribe, especially if you know of anybody that would benefit from listening to us give our amazing insight to both the NFL and wrestling world.
Matt Flynn. There you go.
Where did he go?
Um, he went somewhere and got a big contract, and then he came right back.
Huh. Well, good for him.
Yeah, because he had that good season, and then he was supposed to be the next guy.
He was
Green
drafted
Bay is
by,
where he went.
yeah. I thought he was drafted
No,
by Green Bay.
he was drafted by Green Bay.
Okay. At
But yeah, he got that. What is it? I kind of think. I think it was maybe the Raiders is where he went after that.
okay. Matt Flynn.
And then yeah, he had to go back. Anyway, that was a detour that was taken.
Well, I don't know when we'll talk about Matt Flynn ever again. What was your favorite Matt Flynn moment?
Oh, when he got that big contract, and
Well,
then
there you
ended
have
up
it.
being a bust.
Leave
Well,
it.
I guess he wasn't a bust. He wasn't drafted. initially, so or he wasn't a big overhyped guy, so you couldn't be a bust if you're not overhyped.
He was. I remember him being a decent, or not a decent, a solid quarterback in college.
Yeah,
I don't
but
remember him being like a
I guess
stud.
he turned into a bust when he got the contract. That's what made him the bust. But
Yeah.
before then, he was just a backup quarterback. But speaking of bust, this would be a good segue to talk about our biggest disappointments of the season so far
Oh yeah.
and our top five teams in order.
In order.
In order.
Oh boy.
Why don't you say the fifth best team to the number one best team?
Oh. Do you have your teams?
Not in order. I threw myself off with that. I surprised myself. I could do it though.
There you go.
Wait.
Probably should have done this off air.
I got it. I'm ready. I'm in.
Go for it.
Locked in. All right. So my top five. Coming in at number five. Call it fandom. So what? The Dallas Cowboys. They are my number five team. That defense, Dak is back. I think, you know, they up until the Eagles game, we had the second best record in the league or in the division. So, in the conference even. Yeah, yeah. I think we had the best record, second best record in the conference. So, they're my number
I
five
thought the
with
Giants
Dak.
did.
We beat the Giants.
Oh, you're
So
right.
we were above
You're right.
them.
I got you.
So, yeah, my number five, Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Do you want me to go all of them?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you want me to
My
do
number
my number
four
five?
team. Yeah.
Okay. Dallas Cowboys as well. I can't disagree with anything you said.
All right. Oh, that was easy.
A-
Number four.
Actually, you know what? The Giants are my number five
Okay.
because I think the Cowboys are better than them.
Oh, so you have them higher. Okay. Or you have. Okay. My number four team, the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. Yeah. I'm locking that in. I thought about it. Baltimore Ravens is my number four team.
Yeah.
Um, yes, they look good. What concerns me, the pause I had on them,
Wait,
is the
is five good
five
and
is the
the
we're
worst
going.
of the good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, so the fact that the Ravens have lost so many games at the basically in the fourth quarter, that concerns me. That's why they're number four.
Okay.
They for some reason they've been giving up leads. Their secondary has been getting exposed. So yeah, that's why they're my number 14.
Number four is Dallas because of everything you said when you said they were your number five team.
Easy enough. Number three, it has to be the Eagles because they are The only undefeated team in the NFL, and
And you have them
then
number 3.
I do. They look like they're a tough team to beat. I'm not gonna lie. It hurts saying that as a Cowboys fan, but I'm taking fandom out of it. So yes, I have Eagles at number 3.
Taking fandom out of it until you play the Eagles again.
Well, they're not going to be undefeated at that point,
There you
so enjoy it while you have it.
go.
That's why they won't be finishing undefeated. Dallas is still on the schedule.
um, yeah, Eagles are my third team as well. Um, Undefeated, playing really well. Yeah, I like them.
And if you can guess, the top two teams in the order of 2 and 1, I can go ahead and give them to you both because they're pretty straightforward.
Hmm.
Kansas City number 2, the Bills number 1. The reason for that is because they just played and Bills won, so they would then be ahead of Kansas City.
Yeah. You know what? Even if Kansas City happened to have won that game earlier this season, I would still have the Bills at number 1. So, yeah, 2 Kansas City, 1 Buffalo. So it sounds like I respect the Giants while you respect the Ravens.
Yeah, that's the only difference.
Yeah,
And the Giants did beat the Ravens, but I think the Ravens are. I think if they played again, the Ravens would win.
maybe. All depends on which Lamar shows up.
I guess that's also the question of the Bills and the Chiefs. If they played it today, I know the Chiefs won, but if they played again, who would win?
Right. Well, I think with them, you can pretty much just flip a coin.
Yeah,
So we went
which
over our. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, which it'll be interesting come playoff time because the Bills won the last one.
Right. Well, I think it's the Bills' year to lose it. I mean,
It is, but they could be that team that just I don't know. They're just like there's always that team that does well in the
in
pre
the regular season,
in a
and
regular season,
it's like
yeah,
one and
and
done.
then yeah,
Yeah.
it's just something about the playoffs that they can't get over the hump.
Right. Well, I mean, sometimes it's that bye week.
Yeah, by a week and it's like Peyton Manning and the Colts. They were that for a long time.
Right.
So
Well, they had the misfortune of playing the Patriots too.
there's that.
And the Steelers. So we went over our top 5 teams. Um, what teams would you say are the biggest disappointment?
Yeah, our top five biggest disappointments. Um, Now this one doesn't necessarily need to be in order
Oh, okay.
because they're disappointing. So you can't just be most disappointing and like there's no big disappointments and little disappointments. They're just disappointments. That
Fair.
type of thing. So my first of five disappointments, the Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders that they are now. But it doesn't sound as good when you do the voice thing. So
Right.
you got to be Oakland Raiders for that. But they're the Las Vegas Raiders now.
Okay.
They're my first of the disappointments. Um, You just had all this information on them. They got Devontae Adams. They're supposed to be this juggernaut, and I think they've only won one game so far.
Right.
So I would say that's a pretty big disappointment.
um, yeah, I'll put the Raiders there. The whole division probably should be listed as a disappointment, aside from Kansas City. But Las Vegas, I think they were last year. They seemed like they had everything figured out. They just needed someone to kind of right the ship after the Gruden thing, and now it just seems like they've taken 100 steps backwards. So yeah, definitely a disappointment.
Well, the mistake was getting rid of Gruden. I know
Sure,
they had to for
they didn't
whatever
have to.
reason, for looking at cheerleaders. They had to fire him because he was looking at cheerleaders. So
Yeah.
there's that. And the other things he did, but that's the main one. He was looking at cheerleaders. How dare he look at cheerleaders?
How dare he?
Like, what a monster. Um, but we can move on to the next team. And I'm going to stay right there in the same division.
Okay.
Denver Broncos. Next disappointment.
Okay.
They got in Russell Wilson. This team was supposed to be, at least from, if we were to look back at our tier list, I had them like competing for like what, three losses. One of those teams is going to
Yeah.
be a a real playoff, or so I'm sorry, Super Bowl contender.
Yeah. Russell Wilson was
And
supposed
isn't
to be awesome.
yeah, and he's just a big old fraud apparently, and his character is now in question because of his
Of
quarterback
yeah,
play.
he's a fake phony person now because he's not throwing the ball well.
Yeah,
Let that sink in.
yeah, and even Richard Sherman is like shitting on him so hard on his
Oh, he
podcast,
loves it. He's bringing
and he's like,
other teammates to shit on him too.
yeah, basically saying Russell Wilson was always the problem.
Right.
It wasn't. It wasn't anybody else, and it's okay to not like Russell Wilson. These are
Right.
like some of the titles of his videos. But yeah, Broncos. I put them as also one of my top disappointments.
Okay. Um, I'm actually going in order because you got me in that mindset. So my next disappointment would be Indy. Um, yeah, they got Matt Ryan. They're one of those teams that were supposed to just like one piece away from being playoff contenders, and they did have high hopes. And then the season started, and now Matt Ryan is getting benched for Sam Ellinger.
Texas X, by the way. Now, speaking of that whole Matt Ryan getting benched thing, that's not due to injury.
He is injured, but because they got swept again for the second consecutive year, um, Ursay basically forced the coaching staff's hand to bench Ryan, so he would have been benched either way.
Okay, so I got benched and he got injured.
Yeah,
Oh wow, it's like it's like CM Punk.
yeah, yeah, a little bit, I guess. But yeah, it's just not up to the expectations is what they have. No, nobody expected Matt Ryan to to throw for 8,000 yards this season, but he's still a veteran and he's still, I don't know, thought thought he still had some left in the tank. Apparently he doesn't.
Okay, and that's actually was going to be my next one. Um, basically, because of the same thing, because we thought Matt Ryan was going to be something more than what he is. So you can put them as a disappointment.
Okay, and my next one is actually Denver, because of the Wilson thing, and they suck.
All right. So we pretty much got the same list here. That's good.
Yeah.
My next disappointment is Green Bay.
Okay.
Now I know Rodgers has the young receivers. You want to make all the excuses, but you just it's an Aaron Rodgers led team. You always know or you expect that they're going to be there at least in the regular season. Right now, they just can't seem to get it together. I mean, they're losing to like teams they shouldn't be losing to, and even when they're winning, they're not looking too good. The offense is just not gelling. I don't know what that is, but I don't know how high the expectations were on them for the year. But for me, I said as a Aaron Rodgers led team, they should. Now, I did pick Minnesota to win the division,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought it was going to be closer than what it is.
Right.
So Green Bay is my next disappointment.
My next disappointment is the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, I mean, just for the simple fact that they went to the Super Bowl last year, and they're not even close to looking like they did last year.
Interesting. I mean, they looked good last game.
They did. Maybe they're
They
figuring it
looked
out,
like they
but
were
we're going based on the sample
so
size that we
far.
have now. That this last game, notwithstanding, they've looked like shit. Especially a little pretty boy Burrow.
Yeah, and you got people like Whitlock saying, "Oh, he's what is it? What did he say? He's who did he compare him to?
Cam Newton.
Yeah, he's Cam Newton now. Okay, well, there you go. So,
Or did he compare him to Colin Kaepernick?
no, it's Cam Newton
Okay.
because he was talking about when he started.
Wearing
I don't
how
know.
he was dressing like a
Yeah.
peacock, dressing like the fucking Queen of England, dressed like
like
the Duchess of goddamn Windsor.
like people can have style and be a quarterback.
True.
I don't know if what Cam Newton is doing I would classify as style, but maybe I just don't understand fashion.
No, he's definitely a peacock.
It's the hats. I can get past like the other stuff, but the hats
Yeah.
are just the ridiculous part.
And apparently he had them like custom made and shit. They ain't cheap.
His hats.
Yeah. I wonder if he
So
still
you
has them.
agree? It's the hats that are the thing.
I think it's the whole package. I think the hat is just like the cherry on top. Because he's got the glasses and he's just accessories. It's like he's like all three of the Migos wrapped into one.
He's got a lot going on with his look.
Yeah,
Probably takes a long time to get ready.
probably probably does. You see him just totally
Um,
blowing his hair.
Yeah.
Gotta get ready for
It's
my
like,
little press conference.
yeah, and he's got like a ring drawer. He probably has a glasses thing too, where he's got like all these different frames.
Yeah, apparently.
Probably, I would even question if he even needs glasses. It might just be for looks.
Yeah, did you know that was a thing?
Yeah,
Why would you get glasses that you don't need?
I don't know. People think the glasses look is cool or something. I don't know.
That's
It's
like
like a
that's like rolling yourself around in a wheelchair because I don't know, for no reason.
well, it think now I heard this from a bimbo, so let's get that out. But the
Okay.
glasses look the glasses look, when you wear glasses, even if they're non-prescription, they make you look smart. So
Okay.
that's what they're going for
I
there.
don't
Now,
think that
I don't know if that's what Cam Newton is doing, but
I don't think that that applies anymore.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
Okay.
Um, where were we? Oh, the disappointments.
Yeah.
I'll get back on that. So my final disappointment is one Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Um, Tom Brady's on the team, so I think that says enough as what is expected of them, and they're not that right now. Do I think they can get there? I still think they're going to make it to the playoffs because of the division they're in. So we'll get that out there, and I think maybe even they win a game or two in the playoffs. But they don't look like Tom Brady doesn't look like Tom Brady.
He sure doesn't.
Um,
Maybe it's
now
because it's because
they did get
AB's running
Julio.
around with Giselle.
That's a whole nother thing. But that divorce is final, so
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's like
I'm sure that has to play a part in how he plays. Can you imagine?
going through a divorce
uh,
and yeah,
Yeah, we sit on our ass for a living, and like everyday stress. Like, oh man, it's hard to concentrate. Can you imagine having 300-pound men wanting to tear your heart out for 3 hours on a Sunday, and you got that shit going on in your head?
yeah, yeah. It can't be easy for him. I guess the positive, if you want to call it that, is the divorce has been filed,
Uh huh.
so there's no more question about that part. So now I don't know. I don't know if the filing means that's it, or if the filing means now we still got to go through like the custody battle and the who gets the house and all that shit. I don't know if we
um,
still got to do all that or if that's already been decided. If it's been decided, now we can just like cut it off and move on with football or you know
right.
probably like you know if it's already over, you don't have to worry about it anymore. It ain't coming back.
Well, I'm gonna because because the term is final. Um, I'm gonna just assume that it's over. Because I mean, they're both rich, so I mean, I don't think there's too much to fight over, possession wise.
Well,
Um, if they wanted to be dicks, they could fight over the kids, but I don't see them doing that either. He's Tom's probably content in letting Giselle have them. so you can get so, so you can get some 18-year-old that just turned 18 5 minutes before he met her,
Who's also a supermodel.
who's also a supermodel.
It's like he's like he's like sitting in her room, cross-legged, waiting for midnight. You're 18 now, but so yeah, we got Tom Brady, and that's not a funny situation, by the way. It's very serious divorce. If you're going through that, you know, reach out to for some help. He's typing in the comments. I'm sure someone else here can relate to you. Anyway, um, what's funny about that? Trying to help the people if they need it. That's not funny.
Oh, it's a
Some
little
people
funny.
might need help. Anyway, who's your biggest disappointment?
My biggest disappointment is the LA Rams.
Ah, they
They're currently
we're
sitting
gonna.
at 3-3. They're Super Bowl. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. Um, they've, I mean, they lost to Buffalo, but they've lost to San Francisco and Dallas.
Who?
Um,
Who's that last team?
they lost to y'all when you remember when you were on the field October 9th.
I'm just asking. It kind of cut out there, so
Remember when you
I just want to.
personally delivered the game-winning touchdown?
I'm just. I didn't hear you. I needed to hear
Okay.
it again. It cut
I'm
out.
telling
There's
you,
a
when
background
you scored
noise.
the game-winning touchdown all single-handedly by yourself, while your 10 other
What are you talking about
teammates,
me? Why are you talking about me? I have nothing to do with this.
because
I'm just
now
asking
you don't
you
have anything to do with it.
who's.
Now you don't have
I'm
anything to do with it.
just a simple question of who was the last team
Right,
that
and
you said.
I said it, and then you asked me to repeat it, and I'm telling you, I'm failing to see where the disconnect is.
Because you're throwing it, you're trying to involve me, and I have nothing to do with this. I'm sitting on my couch.
Okay,
I'm watching the game.
okay. Seems pretty selective what you and we are doing.
Well, I mean, I'm not playing the games,
Mm-hmm.
but we do want to make sure that we got to make sure we're tightening it up for the next game.
There you go.
We got the Bears coming up. Can you
Oh,
imagine if our show got to a point where I got noticed and then they let me like do a speech or something for the game?
no,
Call me up, Jerry.
I can't imagine that.
Well, you imagine it,
I could,
because if it happens, you're gonna
if
you're gonna know about it.
if anything, I could see you singing the anthem.
No, it'd be like, or I'll be like on the jumbotron doing the "Get ready, start for the Cowboys" thing.
Nope, you sing the anthem or the "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" song because you don't you don't realize what sport you're at. All right, so do you want to go over our picks? I think we're over an hour.
Yeah, we can get into our picks.
Boom, 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 boom.
I gotta pull up the schedule real quick. And again,
Yeah,
if
we're at an
you
hour and a
enjoyed the
half.
stream for, oh man, we went over.
Sure.
Anyway, if you enjoyed the stream, hit that like button, and we're just gonna run through these picks.
Just gonna run through them. We'll run through them like I run through my underwear.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go a different direction there.
I was going
That
to,
was
but I
definitely
couldn't
gonna
think
be.
of one.
I was gonna say that's definitely probably not gonna be appropriate, but you say it anyway. All right, we got Arizona and Minnesota first.
Oh shit. Minnesota.
Agreed. Chicago and Dallas.
Dallas.
Agreed. Um, worth note mentioning there, Ezekiel Elliott is out, but I
Doesn't
don't think
matter. The
it's
better running backs in.
mm, okay.
The more productive
That's
running
debatable
back is
now.
in. How about that?
It's debatable now.
Yeah. All right.
You see him pass block?
Was that it?
That's pretty important, pass blocking, and he doesn't do it,
Do you see?
or maybe he does.
Do you see Ezekiel Elliott play 16 games?
Yeah, when he started.
Oh.
Anyway, this is not. This might turn into just a Cowboys podcast. It could be. Miami and Detroit. We'll talk about that off air.
um, who was it? Miami and oh shit. Oh fuck. There was a time where it would have been no brainer Miami, right?
Yep, Tua is back, but is he back?
I thought he was back already.
I know he's playing, but is he back?
Oh.
Like, is he back to the form he was before he, you know, before all that shit happened?
I'll say the Dolphins.
I'm also gonna say Dolphins. I think they got a little bit better of a defense. There's definitely gonna be some points scored, opposite of what's gonna happen in the Tennessee game.
Right.
Next up, Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett, and Eagles.
Eagles.
The battle for. Oh, anyway, Eagles. Carolina and Atlanta.
Atlanta.
I'm I'm also going Atlanta. I think we've been pretty much the same all thing here.
We have.
This one might be different. Las Vegas and New Orleans.
Yeah. New Orleans.
It is not different. I'm also picking New Orleans. The Jets and New England.
Let's see, this used to be a no-brainer. I'm gonna say Jets.
Golly, I'm also picking the Jets. Tennessee and Houston.
Tennessee.
I'm going Tennessee as well. Actually, yeah, I'll just keep it how it is. I was gonna go back on one. Um, we got the Giants and Seattle.
I'm gonna say Giants.
I agree. Washington, Indiana.
Indianapolis.
Just to be different, I'm gonna go with Washington on that one.
Well, I was correcting you, but I guess that's. I don't want it. I'm too lazy to
What
change
did I
it.
say?
You said Indiana.
Oh,
It's
anyway,
not. It's not the Texas
just okay,
Cowboys.
okay. Well, what's your pick?
Well, I'm not gonna change it.
Yeah, you think Ellinger's gonna be the guy?
Sure. Why
Texas
not?
X, by the way. And San Francisco and Los Angeles or Rams. I almost said Raiders.
They just played, didn't they?
They did just play like 2 weeks ago.
Who won that one? Do you remember?
San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm gonna say San Francisco.
I'm also gonna say San Francisco. It's a weird thing. San Francisco has like a 5 game win streak against the Rams. Maybe it's more,
Did they
and I
really?
think they continue that. Yeah.
Oh,
We got Buffalo and Green Bay.
Buffalo.
Why do we even have to ask that question? Buffalo. And then our
Did we do
oh
Denver and Jacksonville?
no, that's our final game. No, we got 2 more games. Denver and Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. You know what? I'm gonna
I don't
say
even know who's
Denver.
starting.
It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna say Denver. I don't know who's starting in Denver, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna think Denver there.
Well, I do know the Cons own the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's all I need to know.
Our final game of the evening is Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Cincinnati.
One of your disappointments, and I think also Cincinnati.
All right.
Well, there you go. I think we agreed on almost every game but one. I
No,
think this is one of those.
I think we got them all actually.
This is one of those weeks that, on paper, it look you can tell, like, okay, this team, it's one of. I would say it's one of those weeks that aren't close, if
Well,
that
we
makes sense. It's just one of those weeks where the good teams are playing bad teams. It's like in college football when Alabama's playing the high school team that they're going to play.
yeah. Well,
It's
it's
like,
usually before and after Georgia.
yeah,
I
but
just
that's going to
appreciate that
do
they
it
don't try
for.
to hide that.
Well, of course, it's a
Yeah.
warm-up game.
But yeah, like you were saying, that's gonna do it for the evening and the week. We will see y'all next time. Be
Yeah,
sure
make sure to
to
hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already,
throw down a comment.
and
Tell us what you think.
yeah, let us know what you think in the comments below. And good night.
Good night.